Yesterday we began discussing matter. Today we're going to actually get hands-on, but first I want to have a video to review some of the things that we discussed yesterday.
Most of it is in the oceans or held at the poles.
Raise your hand if you thought that video was helpful to what we're going to do today. Good, good. Okay, well again, like I said, we're going to be hands-on today. And we're going to find out what is an oobleck. First, I want to show you a book that we're going to be reading. Bartholomew and the Oobleck. I know you're asking, what does that have to do with matter? Well, let's see. Inside, what do you maybe think an oobleck is? Can I have some predictions? Amanda. Slime, good. Could be. Any others? Matt. Play-Doh? Possibly. Joey, what are your thoughts? Flubber? Could be. Wasn't that a movie? I thought so. Anybody else? Jen. Goo? That's descriptive. Okay. Well, that kind of gives us some ideas of what's maybe in this book. Let's read a little bit. First, though, I have a question. What are we looking at here, Erin? The title. Very good. This book is by, who is it, Jen? Dr. Seuss. Very good. Okay, well let me get in here and let's see what a oobleck is. They still talk about it in the kingdom of Tid, as the year of the king got angry with the sky. And they still talk about the page boy, Bartholomew Cubbins. If it hadn't been for Bartholomew, that king and that sky would have wrecked that little kingdom. The king now knew that these four old-fashioned things, the rain, the sunshine, the fog, and the snow, were good enough for any king in the world, especially for him, old King Durham of Did. And there we have it, the oobleck.
So before we start our experiment on what is oobleck, we need to do a little more reviewing. First off, what is a solid? Nick? Correct. A solid does have a definite shape and volume. But first, I want a few examples. Karen? A chair. Good. One more. Brody? Your bike at home? Yep, that's a solid. Alright, let's move on to liquids. Anyone want to tell me what a liquid is? Nathan? Correct. A liquid does have an indefinite volume, but it takes the shape of the container that it's in. So your water on your desk takes the shape of that water bottle. Any examples? Lee? Correct. Juice is a liquid. How about gases? Kayla? Correct. Gas does not have a definite volume or shape. What about an example, Kayla? Can you give me one of those? Air? Perfect. That works. So now we need to start to talk about the scientific method. The first thing on the list is the question. Anyone know what the question is today? What is oobleck? Very good. A research. We did do research. Maybe not on the computer, but we did it. Anyone know how? Right, Miranda. We read the book, by Dr. Seuss, Bartholomew and the Oobleck. Now how about hypothesis? Everyone is going to get a sheet of paper like this, and it says on the front page, I think the substance will be A. That will be our hypothesis. You'll fill it in with a gas, solid, or liquid, whichever one you believe you think it will become out. Next, we're going to test our experiment. We're going to make oobleck. And then we're going to draw conclusions. This is the part where we do what? Karen? Correct. We write about what we found. And finally, at the end of the day, after this, we will communicate our results. We'll do this in a class discussion.
Now that in your pairs, who's ready to make oobleck? So oobleck, like we read in the book, in Bartholomew and the Oobleck by Dr. Seuss, it kind of looks like a green slime. So to make oobleck, we're going to take our 1 cup of cornstarch. Who can tell me what cornstarch is? A solid, liquid, or a gas? Johnny. A solid. Good, perfect. Now who can tell me what water is? Amanda. Good, a liquid. So to make our oobleck, we're going to add the 1 cup of cornstarch. And cornstarch doesn't dissolve in the water. It kind of just floats around. So we're going to add our 1 cup of cornstarch. And next, we're going to add our 1/2 cup of water. But be careful. Who can tell me what this measuring cup is? Nick. 1/4 cup. Correct. So who knows how many 1/4 cups that you need to make a 1/2 cup? Joey. Perfect, 2. So make sure when you're adding the water, you use 2 cups to make a 1/2 cup. So we're going to open up our water bottle, and we're going to pour our first 1/4 cup into the cornstarch, and then we're going to pour another 1/4 cup into the cornstarch. And then we take our mixing utensil, the spoon, and we kind of mix it all around. And you watch all the different materials, the cornstarch, which is a solid, and then you added the liquid, the water, and you see how it turns out. So we keep stirring. So after you stir it for a couple minutes, it comes out into kind of a solidly liquidy form. And because the cornstarch doesn't dissolve into the water, the particles kind of float around. If you gently place your finger in it, it looks like it's going to get all wet because of the water, but really, it kind of is like quicksand, and not too much, as much as you think would get on your finger. And then, if you apply greater pressure, like you put your whole hand in, and you get like a ball, you feel like it's kind of hard. It doesn't look hard, but because of the cornstarch, it's kind of hard, like quicksand. And you can kind of shape a ball. And because your force is so great, the oobleck isn't melting. So you see we have our ball, but as soon as I stop applying the pressure and the force, it melts right through my hands. So now I'm going to add a drop of green food coloring into it so we can make it like the oobleck from the book and have the slimy effect. So I'm going to stir it around a little bit. And then I'm going to pick it up with my hand and do the ball. And you keep kind of just smushing it around in your hands because remember you have to apply the force. And you have the green ball, and then as soon as you stop applying the force, the particles in the ball are free to move around, and you have the green slimy oobleck that just melts right back into your bowl. And now, since you guys all have the materials that Johnny passed around, and you're all with your partners, I'll be walking around if you need any help, and you can go ahead and start making your own oobleck.
So what did everybody think about that? Strange, isn't it? Okay. On your tables, you have your data collection and analysis worksheet, which you should have already been filling out. The cornstarch, we decided, is solid. The water is a liquid. The food coloring, what was it? Liquid. Very good. Okay, on your worksheet, it says your final conclusion. You ended up with a what? You need to write that on there. Okay, after you are done with that, each of you have your worksheet. I'm going to go over the directions. At the bottom it says, write a detailed summary by answering the following questions. What did the substance look like? What did it feel like? I want you to use descriptive words to describe, and also make certain that you remember to use full sentences. Okay? Think about it. Use your 5 senses. Don't taste it though. Touch it, feel it. Just really get into what the oobleck is. Okay? Write this summary as if you're going to give it to somebody that has no idea what an oobleck is. Okay? And they've never heard of it. You're going to tell them exactly what it is. Okay? And after you're done, I'll pick them up.